right, we look like we're all set. I'm just going to check Facebook.
Okay.
We're all set. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started this morning. Some people can join us as we go. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jamie Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us today for our live broadcast. Each Wednesday, we bring you one of these broadcasts featuring one of our newest chamber members, and it just gives them a chance to introduce themselves and talk about their organization and let you know what they're up to. If you are new to the broadcast, thank you for being here with us. We appreciate it. Encourage you to like and follow us if you're on Facebook. If you are on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and explore previous broadcasts there as well. We also offer broadcasts on Monday that are dedicated to city updates from city councilors, mayor pro tem, and other city officials and staff. So that's your chance to hear about what's going on down at City Hall, so that we hope that you will tune in for those as well. And then we also reserve one Friday a month for county updates from both Jefferson and Adams County. So stay tuned for those as well. As you watch the broadcast this morning, we encourage you to engage with us. Feel free to drop any comments, questions, or just say hello in the comment section, and we will get to those during the interview. And now I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Gene with True Patriot Outfitters. How are you today?
Doing well, Jamie. Thanks for having us on here.
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to hand it over to you and let you tell us about True Patriot Outfitters, what inspired it, and what are you up to?
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'll give you the mission statement first from the TPO here. We are the True Patriot Outfitters, and we're dedicated to improving the overall quality of life and promoting mental health well-being for our nation's warfighting families and our community heroes. We do this with outdoor activities, primarily focusing on kayak fishing and camping. We focus heavily on a family-first philosophy and friendships and bonding. We challenge, teach, support, and embrace our brothers, sisters, and their families from a platform of outdoor engagement. That is the elevator pitch. That's what we do as a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay, great.
We're in our third year of operation right now that we've been going here. This has kind of been a brainchild of mine for a lot longer than that, but we put, rubber to the pavement 3 years ago as an official 501c3. It started as my organization, my LLC that I had was GC Fishing. I was one of those goofballs that decided to see if I could go make a living chasing fish around the country and fishing competitively. I did this out of my bass boat. I have an amazing, unbelievably supportive wife who said, go chase your dreams, see if you can do it. She took care of the normal bank while I took care of the karma bank for us, so to speak. That's one of her famous sayings to me. But when we first started off doing this, we were in a bass boat and we were living in Minnesota. And the outdoors has always just been a passion of mine, specifically working, on the fishing side of things. And up in Minnesota there, the opportunities for competition was plentiful. Well, we did that for a few years and decided to stretch it out further and go into the Midwest of America and just met some amazing people along the way. But to do that, I had to give up a career of coaching that I had. I spent 23 years in the IT industry. The last 10 of it was at a school in Minnesota working in IT, and I was a coach there for half of my coaching career. And I had to give that up. I had to retire from that. And I'm a former first responder as well in Larimer County here, Colorado. Did that for many years with the dive rescue team. And I didn't have any of those things anymore. And the IT industry is just not very fulfilling to one's soul. When you work with computers long enough, you realize that there's not a whole lot that comes out of that. It's you do what you do. And so I started volunteering for organizations when I was doing the fishing thing as well. And one of the organizations was the Warrior Bonfire Program. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Mike Foss is the president of that organization. Fantastic organization. He lives in Centennial. And they asked me to go to Vienna, Missouri at the end of, I think it was 2021. They asked me to go out to Vienna, Missouri and spend a week with 6 Purple Heart recipients and share my passion for bass fishing with them. So I thought about it for a few days because I had to give up a competition that I was going to be doing out in Lake of the Ozarks there. And I thought, you know what? Let's do that. Let's skip the tournament and instead let's go an extra couple, extra hour or so down the road and let's go down to Vienna, Missouri and let's spend the time there and just, share what I do. I'll be honest with you, Jamie, I didn't really think too much about it other than I knew that it was a good cause, obviously, at face value. But I didn't have a whole lot of expectations. Well, this event is what birthed the name of my nonprofit. And I left there with a total understanding of what it was that I was meant to be doing. It wasn't chasing fish. It was sharing this passion. When I saw what healing it could bring, when I saw what it could do for human beings that I put on a very high pedestal. One of the best statements that I've ever been told, and this can be said for first responders as well, but every soldier pays with their life, just some of them pay it all up front. And the entire family serves. There were so many principles from that event, from those 6 individuals that I carry with me still to this date. And I've tried to pass them on to my adult children so that they understand it as well. And that is, so many guiding forces. I talked my wife's ear off for 2.5, 3 hours on the 13-hour drive home, telling her, I found it. I know what we should be doing. Thank you, Nina, and your entire family. We love and appreciate you guys. I knew that something was there. There was a calling there. There was something grabbing me because as I'm talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. It just, when you feel something that passionately, when something strikes you like that, I'm 52 years old, and there's been few things in this world that have been able to do that for me. It truly is, when you know, you know. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how. I wasn't sure what we were going to do with this. I wasn't sure if my wife was going to be okay with this because I've been an entrepreneur many times and I know the difficulty that comes with that. But I my master's degree does not cover nonprofits. It was something totally different. And so it was a different world to get involved in, but I knew the call was there and I knew the reason was just. So we were going to try to figure it out. Briefly, the name True Patriot, I get asked that a lot. I get asked, does that have some sort of political affiliation? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, the definition of True Patriot means that I focus on people. That's what we focus on. I don't care about ideology and those type of things. I care about the people and their families and making sure that they're in a good place, in a better place. And we're gonna do what we can to do our small part to promote that and move that. And so that that keeps us in touch with everybody out there, and that's what we want to make sure of. But yeah, it was a calling piece. The name True Patriot actually, so 6 Purple Heart recipients, 2 civilians, myself, because I'm not a veteran, myself, and the property owner that donated the usage of the lodge and the private lake to use. We're sitting by ourselves, kind of just off to the side a little bit at the bonfire at the last night of this at this amazing retreat. And I'm not even going to try to do the accent. This old boy that was a Bradley commander in the very first engagement from Louisiana, deep Cajun accent on him. He looks over at Dave and I, the property owner myself. He says, "You 2 boys might not be vets, but in my eyes, you're citizens worth fighting for, and you're true patriots." And I got to tell you, Jamie, to that degree, to this day, the best title I've ever been called is Dad. Okay, that's the best one. The next best was Coach. That night, Coach went to 3 in True Patriot, locked into second place for me. And I literally got off the road 13 hours. It was bright and ugly in the morning, and I went to the Colorado State, Secretary of State, and registered the name, got it locked up on my computer. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want this taken from us. This is going to be the name of us because this is what it embodies. Right. And since then, we've evolved a lot. We've changed a lot. We've met some amazing people, great collaborations with other nonprofits. And we've got target list of nonprofits we want to work with. We want to be a source where when somebody comes to us, let's say kayak fishing isn't their thing, because it's a new thing to a lot of people. Let's say fly fishing is their thing. I need to know that I can call somebody on the phone right there and say, "Hey, I got John here or Sally here that wants to do some fly fishing. Will you talk with them real quick?" And bang, hand the phone over. That's an important piece for us. So if I get, we get other collaborating, nonprofits out there that provide services in some fashion or form that promotes the same way we do through the CAM, arena, which CAM stands for Complementary Alternative Medicines. We don't offer therapy here. Okay. I'm all my degrees and all my student loans don't cover anything in the medical field, but absolutely 100% what we do is therapeutic. There's no question about it. We've got the science behind us, the lab coats are there, and the testimonials of the people we take out.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What specific needs were you seeing among veterans and first responders and their families that you felt weren't being met by other organizations?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I would say first and foremost, just the sheer quantity. There are some estimates that put 40, 50,000 vets in northern Colorado alone. And that number is, equated in southern Colorado. Start thinking about that, and we've all heard the stories. We know the situation of VA medical care out there. We're aware of that. And quite frankly, just if I can just be frank and honest, a bag of opioids is not the answer. Talking to veterans that have been through, situations and are dealing with things, there's a push out there that's been going on for many years that we reference. You'll notice at most of our publications that we put out that you'll only see PTS because they want the D removed. Because there's a sentiment that once you've seen things or done things, you don't get to remove those, right? I mean, it's a part of who you are. So the question is, how do we manage that? How do we move forward, and how do we remain productive and a good member of our community, of our family? Things of this nature. It's why we do family first, because the entire family, man, that support structure is so critical. Being able to address that through just sharing of a passion. There's something different when you truly have a passion for something. You don't need words. People see it in your eyes. They see it in your actions. They see it in your intent, when you're there side by side. I literally went through a little phase myself that I had to do some self-maintenance and some recharging here I've backed away from a lot of competitive fishing because I left the boat competitive world to the kayak fishing competitive world. And I've had to pull away from that just because it was starting to steal some of the love I had for the outdoors. It became work.
Yeah.
The only times I was fishing was for a competition or to take folks out. And I felt like I was doing a disservice at that point. So I've stepped away from a lot of competition, and lo and behold, the love of the outdoors has returned, and I can feel it in myself. I feel it in the outings. We've had one of the best years yet with our partnership at Stanley Lake. We're set up as a vendor with the city of Westminster now, and we partner with Stanley Lake Regional Park. That's our home waters there. We love Michael Gately and his entire team over there. That is an amazing group of rangers. I'm telling you folks that right now. You want to talk about people that are there for the right reason? They're there to keep the park beautiful, to take care of you, make sure you have a great experience there. And they have been phenomenal with our groups this entire season. So, yeah, the need was that there was an alternative need. And we realized this is something we could fill, that area and just do our small part. I mean, there's more needed. There's no question about it.
Awesome. Can you describe some of your signature programs?
Yeah, it's kayak fishing. That's the first and foremost right out the gates. It's it's one of the fastest growing sectors of the sport fishing industry. These are not the kind of kayaks you think of where you sit down in and you go down whitewater. Okay, you're not going to catch me there. If you see me, it means something bad happened. Okay, if I'm going down whitewater, I made a wrong turn somewhere. No, the kayaks that we have a great partnership with New Canoe. New Canoe kayaks are some of the most stable platforms you can get out there. Our kayaks are 12.5 foot long, 41 inches wide. You can stand up on them, and they're what's called a sit on top kayak. It allows for just an amazing experience when you're out there on the water. All of our kayaks also are motorized. We have electric motors on our kayaks. The purpose of that is, number one, a safety piece. Number two, we're kind of tech gearheads at heart. And we really like to engage that with the people we take out, is to get them involved in the hyper focused on the fishing piece of it, and the teching and the rigging of your kayak, and making sure you're taking care of your craft. There's a lot of therapeutic reason behind that, but we don't even talk about that half the time. We do this just for that purpose. But yeah, kayak fishing is the main thing now. The real healing and such really starts to come around with the camping. You get around that fire pit at night. You get people that have had like experiences, especially when we're talking about firefighters, talking about police officers, we're talking about combat veterans. As much as I would love to try and understand, I'm not one of those. So no matter how hard I want to, I'm never going to fully understand it, right? But I can absolutely be sympathetic and at least grasp the nature of this. So I try to connect people, be a conduit, if you will,
Yeah.
and try to create that. And at the very end, as I tell people, you're going to laugh with me or at me, one of the two. We're going to have a good time, and I just want them to know by the time they leave that they've got, the TPO is there for them in any possible way we can be.
Got it. How do you decide which programs you're going to offer and where, and kind of like where geographically are you offering things?
Yeah, so Westminster, obviously at Stanley Lake is our home waters. We use that. We use the term. That's kind of our gateway drug. We basically, when we first meet somebody, we take them out to Stanley Lake. It's an amazing park. It is a paddlecraft only lake, just the right amount of size. Fantastic fishing. So we get a chance to really let people experience kayaking, kayak fishing in its entirety in a safe environment there. There are no motorized boats allowed on that water, thank goodness. And so we don't deal with massive crowds there. You can have a lot of kayakers on that water. We were there on Father's Day this year for a great event there, and busiest I've ever seen the park. The parking lot was well done, but it was still no problem out on the water. So we use that as that's our introduction. If this is something they truly love, if they really fall in love with it and they really like it, then we do small, like long weekend, if you will, 3 to 5 day excursions that we'll take to any place that's within about, up to 10, 11 hour drive from here.
Okay.
We try to stretch out and go to these mini little bucket list places that maybe people haven't heard of, that have interesting point of interest in them. As an example, Du Bois, Wyoming. It's about a 6-hour run from here. Right there is the National Museum of Military Vehicles. It is the largest collection, privately owned collection of military vehicles in the country. It's an amazing facility. Your pass is good for 2 days, because if you read the plaques, that's how long it'll take you to get through this museum. It's ridiculously huge. So things like that we try to incorporate with the trips, because it offers just yet another opportunity for the bonding and for us to get out there and hear the stories, let them share, in an environment where no judgment, speak your piece. We got your back no matter what. And yeah. So yeah, we go through. So that's really kind of the model of what we have set up.
Awesome. Can you share a memorable story of a participant whose life was changed by your program or services, or a particular outing?
Yeah. So we do some collaboration with, I'm a therapeutic coordinator with Heroes on the Water. The TPO brought me to them. And so TPO is the little guy. Heroes on the Water is a nationwide nonprofit. We also run the Denver therapeutic program right there at Stanley Lake as well through Heroes on the Water, our work with them. And this, we had an opportunity last year to do, and we did it again this year, but last year this event took place with a group of visually impaired vets. They're not 100%, but they're real close. Well, this gentleman by the name of Jim, we took him out on a kayak. He had an amazing day. He come back in, and his nickname was Big Jim. And he comes up to me, Army vet. He puts his arm around me. He says, "Gino, I want to tell you something, man." He said, "When I'm here, I've got people around me constantly, warning me, hey, you got a desk here, you got a chair here, you got a root over there. Don't trip on that. Here's a curb." He said, "Brother, when I got out there today, this is the first time I've ever been on a kayak." And he said, "And I got to tell you, I was free. I went where I wanted to go." And I never thought about that, Jamie. It never, didn't. I just took it for granted in there. He paddled where he wanted to paddle, and the staff member that was with him was following him around. He had that freedom sense where he got out there. The other piece is from a vet that we've taken out several times, a combat vet, Army sapper. he's in a pretty good place, right? He's not dealing with the traditional what people think, but he says he's got a young family, beautiful wife and children at home, and he said, Gino, he goes, when we come out here, this is self maintenance time. This is my recharge here with you. We crack jokes, some work safe, some not work safe. It's it's the veteran community, it's the coping mechanism. And he gets a chance to just kind of unwind, be himself, get himself back to center again, get that centerpiece back, and then get back to his family in 100%, and go back there. You see those type of things. I've had responses from, hey man, that was fun, all the way to, brother, you may have just saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need science at that point. I've got what I need right there from those folks. And that's what we're going to, we don't do high quantity numbers of people. I think we've worked with this entire year, and where our season's coming to a close here, I think we've worked with, maybe 30 individuals. And I know that is tough in the nonprofit space, because the first thing they always ask you on grants is, how many do you deal with? I'll tell you what, I learned something from day one, and we're going to live and die by this principle, is that if I have to do it one at a time, that's how we will do it, is one at a time. Because if it's one life we can impact to a positive way, job's done. We've done what we needed to do. And yeah, we're just going to keep that trucking.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. What have you learned from the feedback that you've received from your participants? Like, what works and what challenges still remain?
The outdoors is powerful, way beyond what what we're beginning to understand, now. Disconnecting from the doom scrolling. For the longest time, that was a, get off my land, type old man saying, right? Get off my grass. But the fact of the matter is, it couldn't be more true if you tried. Disconnect. Give yourself a gift and disconnect and get outdoors. Go for a walk. Let the sunshine. We live in one of the most amazing states for the amount of sunshine we get each year. Excuse me. I moved away for 10 years and lived in Minnesota for 10 years and totally forgot about just how much sunshine we get. Let me tell you, when you don't have it, man, you miss it. Yeah. Let that sun hit your skin. Let that sun get on you. Go for a walk. Don't go for a walk with earbuds in and listening to music. No, disconnect for a little bit. Drive someplace out to a country road, whatever it is. Get yourself away. I've learned this to be one of the most impactful modes there. Give yourself that little bit of chance to kind of recharge. Get to the mountains if you can, whatever it takes. Stanley Lake, I have a very biased opinion, but it's one of the most amazing. You don't feel like you're in a city when you're out there. You feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and then you're reminded, oh no, I'm actually kind of right in the middle of Westminster right here, or right on the outskirts of Westminster. Yeah. It's beautiful out there. The views are unmatched. The birds, the wildlife that's running around. Just take that in for a little bit of time, and that's, you will be amazed at what that can do for you and get you that centerpiece back. That's probably been the most impactful that I've learned. And I guess maybe the second would be just find your passion. No, there's no rule out there that says you only get one. You're allowed to have as many as you need, man. Yes. If it's something you feel driven towards, go after it. And I guess last but not least would be if you're looking for purpose and mission, which this is a major thing in the space we operate in, purpose and mission, do something for somebody.
Yeah.
That is it right there. Serving those that have served or have served. It's an amazing, amazing, fulfilling maneuvers when you create that purpose and mission, and it's around taking care of somebody else, not for your own personal gain. It's very fulfilling like that. You can give back like that.
Yeah, definitely. Nina says yes. Awesome. What are some of the biggest challenges that you face currently in your organization? Aside from people telling veterans and first responders about you, how else can this community support you?
To be honest with you, it's there's a lot of challenges here. This is a lot. I'll try to shorten this down quite a bit. Getting people to engage and come out. I'll tell you, there's a funny thing that takes place in all of these, from first responders to veterans. Many non-combat vets don't feel like they warrant a trip. You know who the first person that tells them that, hey, quit being a goofball, of course you do, is a combat vet. Will be the first to tell a non-combat vet that, bro or sis, you took the oath the same as we did, just had different duty stations, man. There's no difference there, So convincing these folks that, no, you absolutely have already paid for this trip. Let's go. It's at no cost to you whatsoever. This is on us. Please do us the favor. The other side, of course, there is still a stigma that revolves around law enforcement. And I hope that organization, they can break through that, because they do things that quite frankly, we can't even begin to fathom the amount that what these folks do for us daily. And they more than deserve a time to just come out. Let's go fishing. Just disconnect for a little bit. So just breaking into those areas is probably one of the biggest challenges. So, Westminster PD, Westminster Fire, we'd love to work with any of you. There's nothing, the only form you got to sign with me is a liability waiver, man. That's it. If you let me put your, pictures, out there on Facebook, that'd be great. Just so we can show folks what we're doing and telling other people about it. But we made it a point to really connect to the first responder side. We had an awesome outing with Thornton Fire Department. They invited us out this year for one of their peer support weekends that they had, which was phenomenal, and we're looking to expand on that. But that's pretty much beyond the simplistic of it. We're not driven by grants. There's a lot of stuff that comes with those. If they present themselves and the conditions are right, then we'll look at them. But sometimes there's a lot of conditions that come with these, such as the biggest one that's a hurdle for me is that it can only be spent on the individual, not their family members. Mm-hmm. We won't take those funds, because we're the entire family serves. And if they want to have their brother, sister, cousin, friend, I don't care, whoever they want to have come with them, let's go. And we're going to stay with that. So connecting with family foundations, that's a big point for us, working with folks that are very philanthropic, that believe that there can be alternatives to this. We're a little organization. We're boots on the ground. We got a great team here in Colorado. And that's, any given day we're willing to do this. Sit and chat and, hey, come fishing with us. Come see what we do. Stanley Lake is, we got till the end of September here. Let's go.
Definitely. Well, it's been so nice talking to you. That actually went so fast. I'm not even sure. Usually it feels like a half an hour. This feels like it's been 10 minutes. It's really good to learn more about your organization. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you would like folks to know?
I don't think so, other than we do have an amazing event coming up here the 26th, 27th, 28th at Stanley Lake. We have open invitation. This is open to anybody. If you support, if you're interested in what we do, if you are a first responder, a family member, a friend therein, if you're a veteran in the community, anyone that is interested in the work that we're doing, please come out and join us on the 26th, 27th, 28th at Stanley Lake. We're getting there the evening of the 26th, get things set up. We're kayak fishing all day. This is a joint effort between Heroes on the Water, True Patriot Outfitters, Romans Warrior Foundation. We're all coming together. We'll have a ton of kayaks on hand there, and we'll have some of our volunteers will be out there on the water to kind of show folks the ropes, show them what they're doing. Some of them are paddle only, some of them will have motors. And then, of course, we're going to have some great food here. Snooze Eatery out of Westminster, they're over by the Westin. The Westy Snooze, they are donating breakfast on Saturday morning, so come by there and enjoy some awesome food, hanging out with us. And then GQ Barbecue on 120th there in Westminster is going to help us with dinner that evening. Awesome. So we're going to have some great food, lots of games set up there. You can hike. There's a nature center at the park. Come see the park. Come see us. Come say thank you to the local rangers in Westminster. They do a lot more than what people realize in the city of Westminster. And they've done just a fantastic job for us out there. And so, yeah, please come join us at the end of the month.
Yeah, great. Fantastic. Well, I hope you come to our next business after hours. It's actually going to be at the police department here in Westminster, October 7th from 5 to 7. So
hang on, pen,
we'll see you
October
there.
7th. Yeah. If we are available, I'm there for sure.
Great. Sounds good.
Thanks,
well,
everybody.
I appreciate your time and coming on with us this morning. And thanks for everybody who joined. Thanks to everybody that's going to watch this, replay this later. And I've posted your website in the comments. And so people know how to reach out to you.
Thank you.
But everybody, I hope you have a good rest of your week. And Jean, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, Jamie, so much. We sincerely appreciate it.
Have a good day, everybody.